We're recording now. Hey everyone, welcome. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're calling in from. This is digitalweedies.com. This is the faculty section of U Economy. We do these Zooms every single Wednesday and every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today we have, the head of faculty, one of the key players, a guy who's right in the eye of the hurricane. His name is John Reichard. John's going to take us through some really cool things. John, I understand you got some announcements. I heard last night on a Zoom you're talking about leadership, seating a team of people. You're looking for input. So I'm really excited to hear what you have to say today. I'm going to pass it off to you and turn my video off and enjoy the show.
Okay. Everybody, happy Friday to you. I'm glad you're here. I hope some more people come in. I know it's a Friday, so it may not happen, but we'll have a recording on this because this is important for our community to know that Peter and I want to hear input from everybody. One of the things we often say is "we the people," and that is certainly something that comes from a document that's about democracy. So it's really important that we hear from all of you. Now, we do have a leadership group that has been leaders in the industry for a while. We're starting up regular meetings with them. These are people that are probably your team leaders in some cases, and they have varied experience across the industry, and we'll have a regular connection with them. Joe is on that group, for example, and so are many others. We want that because they can give us most of the answers we want. However, that doesn't mean it's all the answers, and there's probably similarities to what you would say, but I believe that everybody should have a voice. Now, how do we accomplish that? When we have a growing group, and it'll be huge. In another year, it'll be so big that obviously it'll be really difficult to compile everything, but we have polling tools we'll use, and I'm not going to use those today, but there are ways to get details from everybody on questions we want answered. And of course, we're at the live meetings. In the future, we'll get information there as well. But I wanted to take this opportunity to do this morning as we're collecting data in our next phase, our next release. When I was in Silicon Valley, we'd have actual upgrades and updates to the software. And when, sort of like Microsoft, they have level 10, level 9, level 10, like that. But they have 9.01, don't they? And 9.02. Well, we're doing updates right now, not upgrades. We've got a lot of things done already, but we are doing updates within our software, within our community overall. It isn't just software. So I'm here to definitely hear your thoughts, things that you've seen in the industry before that you haven't seen yet. I can tell you if we have it coming. I might give you a quick answer that way, or I might just make a note of it and come back and have a one-on-one conversation with you. That's how we want to conduct ourselves in this particular point in our time, the pre-launch, which means that we are not launched yet. I mean, we could have waited until September 18th and brought the whole thing out and said, here you go, here's the beautiful car ready to be sold, without showing anybody any of the previews about what was going on, or allowing you to pre-sell. In the next phase here, when we get all these other details in place, we've hired another company to help to get those done. I don't see them too far away. I know about all those things, although I get surprised once in a while from Victor. He's pretty creative, but I know from our other projects we've done together the sort of things that he'll bring forward. So I can answer some of those questions, but you're going to have everything you need to do well in 4 or 5 days, I'd say, at the most. So get ready, because we're giving you the new update, if you will. All that said, that's preamble a little bit here, but I want you to know that I'm here to hear whatever you have to say about things. I mean, I know what's not working, so you don't need to really use any time for that. I'm well versed on that, as Joe said. I'm in the middle of the vortex of energy, so to speak, because I am the liaison to the field. I need to be. So I am interested in hearing things that you've seen in other businesses you've been involved with. It could be from our same industry, and it might even be from a different industry, maybe related in some way. And I'm open to other comments too, just in general, things you wanna speak to. Maybe not so far off track though, if we can stay on the marketing end of things and the back office end of things, and the image of our company, even things like logos, that you like them, or you'd like some more, or you want some more shirts. I don't know. Could be anything like that. So now this is the challenge for Joe to solve, is how to open up lines for all of you that want to come out. I guess you'll just raise your hand one at a time, right, Joe?
Yes, sir. Here's the rule. If somebody would like to come out, you can also, if you have a question or a comment, you can always put it into the chat. However, if you would like to really get involved in the action and you want to demonstrate some leadership, you can raise your hand. You can raise your hand, and when you raise your hand, I'm going to elevate you on the platform. And that means that the whole world, anybody who ever sees this, will be able to see who you are. So caution, make sure you're wearing a shirt. I did one of these the other day, and this is the truth. I was doing a Zoom the other day, and I said, please make sure you're wearing a shirt. A guy raises his hand. I take him off, and he's sitting in a chair with no shirt. And he goes like this. He's like, no, I'm sorry. So it's true. So if you'd like to come out, as John said, we want to keep the topic, we want to keep the discussion to, things that you're seeing, maybe ways that you can, something that might benefit everybody. Maybe you want to be involved in leadership. Lofty, who was just on the radio show, has his hand in the air. Mark Loftus is coming out right now. There you are, Mark. I'm going to unmute you. There you are.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, John. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Yes. Actually, I just typed my question as far as I know in the future the Zooms will be when we're all launched or closer to the launch, that it'll be about what the economy is and what it offers. In companies that I've been involved with in the past, I think these were what I'm talking about were developed by individual teams within that company, where there was a page that you could have with a link. It would house they were usually Google Hangouts at that time, but where the company's being explained and the compensation and so the whole, where there would be a link where whoever was viewing could click there if they were interested. Yeah, I want to go for this, and would directly link them up to each affiliate. So it would be an identical uniform framing. I'm talking about it's a page.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, so if you're interested in what now we're saying get a hold of the person who invited you to this. These pages had it to where, well, they could just press a link and either go directly to their affiliate link, or maybe it would be connect them to via Facebook or something. But it would be an instant hope instead of, oh, how do I get back to them?
Would you do this for me, Mark? Would you get with Joe specifically, show him an example from the past? Take, Joe, if you did, I like whatever this is. It sounds good. I mean, obviously you can't give specific links out on a broadcast because it would, but there may be other things that, so I would like to know maybe a visual of this. So if you could, Mark, work with Joe.
Yeah, I'm happy to bring that. And I think what you're talking about, for example, right now, if you go in your member back office, just since last night, the personalized links for the landing pages are there. So you have your own link there. So I think what you're talking about, Mark, is when the company finalizes like a presentation, maybe a compensation plan, or something that's really cool, we commit that to something very similar to what we have back there for the landing pages. So if you send somebody to that, if you send somebody, for example, to the comp plan explanation, it will be coded to you. So if they say, yeah, this sounds great, link me up, it codes right to you rather than get back with the person who invited you here. I can commit that to writing, John, and pass that off to you, and you can forward it off to Victor.
Please do. I'd like, and then if we need a visual, you can show us what Mark means, and that sounds good. I mean, the easier it is for people to move through the process, the better, Mark. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Good idea, Mark. Thank you very much. Now, hang on, Mark, because I'm going to gently lower you back down into the attendee pool. So see ya. Bye-bye, Mark. Okay, that's it, Mark. Thank you very much. Demonstrating some leadership there. Anybody else have a comment or a question? Here we go. Valerie. Valerie's here. Valerie, here you come. Here she comes. Look how magic this is magic. Ta-da! There she is. How about that, huh? Hey, Valerie. I see the ceiling or the wall in your house.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. There you go.
Here I am, Joe.
Hey, Valerie.
Thank you. Hi, John. I just want to tell you, first of all, thank you for everything you do for us. I'm so excited to be here, and I really appreciate you and everything that you are sharing with us. So just wanted to say that first.
Well, thank you.
I wanted to ask a question. Basically, I was involved with another MLM company. I'm no longer active in the company at all, but something that they do that I think was really great, and I still actually get notifications on my cell phone. I get notifications of all the events, meetings, everything that's going on with the company, and it's just a great reminder to me of what was going on in the company. And I was just wondering if that would be something we could do here.
Yeah, no reason we can't do it. Typically we use GetResponse to get those messages out. However, we've slowed them down, and we're using Facebook, the Facebook group. I think you're probably in there, Valerie, but
I am.
It's not always. I mean, most people have 550 Facebook groups, so it's hard to see those things. So we will get back to those messages, and definitely, it's a great idea. I mean, we're going to have regular meetings we can put on there that are always important every week, and then we'll have other announcements. At some point, we're going to have such a gigantic number of live events. If you can imagine, we're going to have these kind of calls right here at faculty meetings with actual faculty presentations. It'll be like a TV channel or a cable company. So we'll have to probably just send that email out to say, for all other non-regular meetings, go here to this and click on this link, and it'll go right to the back office for that person if they're already logged in, and they can see everything on the calendar. So we're going to have a calendar in the back office that shows everything, and that's not in there yet. But we'll need it pretty soon because it's already a lot to juggle at this point. So
it is.
Good idea, Valerie, and just keep those ideas coming. These are great. Communication. At the end of the day, once we get this real pretty offer out to people, the team needs communication every day, all day. They need to know what's happening. Like Joe, who's a great communicator at the top of the call. Some of you may not have been on the radio show, but what he did is, he said, here's a summary of what just happened that was newsworthy. And Joe is going to be our director of communications. He is our director of communications. So, he'll keep me honest, I'm sure. I may not wear all the same hats he does, but I will do all the same communication styles he does, because he's great at it.
Well, that's something I didn't know. Thank you very much. So you learn something here every single day. I really appreciate that. But,
Sure.
Valerie, if I may also comment here, Valerie, this idea of sending a text message in real time. Sometimes on the radio show, you'll hear us say, or on the Zooms, we'll say, right now, stop what you're doing, send a text message or a Skype to your prospects, to people who may consider this valuable, and send it right now. Now, I'm going to suggest to you in another meeting, John, there's a technology there that we can make available to our members. There's something where they can actually buy some text and they can begin shooting out. We'll talk about that. I know what you're talking about, Valerie, and we'll look into getting that handled. Valerie?
Oh, that's great, Joe. Great idea on that. We need a text solution. I've got a couple other ones, but if you got one, we'll use that. And then Valerie, email's good for a lot of people like that, as long as they get it white labeled in their email box. That usually works out pretty well. So thank you. We'll make sure. And Joe, I'm thinking a lot of these action items are going to go right to your desk here today. That's why I promoted you today.
I'm making notes of all of it. All right, Valerie, hang on. I'm going to lower you back into the thing. We got a bunch of people all of a sudden who are ready to. Thank you, Valerie. Appreciate you. Next up is here he comes, Craig. Now this guy's a great trainer. This is somebody who I'm recommending for some leadership role. He does great audio training. He works with that predictive dialing.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Craig, come on out. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Hey,
we're having fun.
Hey, thanks for all your comments, Craig. I appreciate you making comments on all the Zooms week after week. Thank you.
Yeah, but you don't have your hat on today.
Well, if I do that, the little hair that I have gets all matted down for the day. I can't have that happen,
I understand. I just have a comment and then a question, if I may.
Yes.
I've been doing that, so Val may know, I've been using easytexting.com,
Yeah.
And you can get a free account. That's what I use. And I've been sending out text messages to the people I've brought in, the members I've brought in, to the Zoom, the Zooms, and then the webinars rather. I'm sorry, and then also the calls on Monday through Friday that Joe does. So it works real easy, and I put it out there on text, and it works. So, but you can get a free account for that. EasyTexting.com.
Yeah, that seems to be everywhere. I see that on all the the advertising from a lot of the pages I go to on the internet.
Yeah, you're limited to the amount of letters that you can put in. Okay,
Yeah.
but you can upgrade it to an account that costs money, different levels. But so EasyTexting.com. Also, the question I had was, any chance that there may be in the future a survey type form in the back of our lead capture pages that they can give us feedback, the potential member? We had done that in the past through Jason and Joe and Tammy and Susan, and it seemed to work. It seemed to work pretty good. So I just thought I'd throw that out there and see what you thought about it. A little survey radio button type thing they click, or little comments if they want.
Right after they opt in, they get that survey?
After they watch the video, there's a little place for a survey they can take.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, anything will help the closer team as well, or the coaches as we're calling them. So, and also all of you to know where they're at, what quality of a lead they are.
Mm-hmm.
And because we can ask specific questions. How likely would you be? This is the question. And how likely would you be to proceed with a business like this if you were satisfied with the details? High. Okay, well then you're going to get the call right away. So I like that idea a lot. It's when you get thousands of leads, you need that. If you get just a few, you can just make a phone call. But is there a software that really does that?
You could talk to Joe about it, because he had something to do with putting all that together, and he knows the questions. And 1 through 10, what's your interest level, and those kinds of things.
Yep, I can. We'll get together on that. Great idea. We're in pre-launch. This is why we have these meetings right now. I'm aware, John. I know what Craig is talking about. We have used it in the past. It's a brief survey so that the closer or the marketer can get a feel of who it is they're talking to.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it is simple. I would also defer to Victor, because things are changing so fast in the internet realm. If you were there with us last night, Smart Marketing, he showed us exactly, what the steps are to bring the prospect into a real light. So we'll talk to him about this, see where this fits into the process.
Yeah, well, what we're going to do, Joe, is we'll make a list of the items that come from here. I'm going to add them to our broader list that we carry, about 5 of us together. Mm-hmm. But we'll take them directly to Victor and walk through them and just see. These are not hard things to implement.
Right.
So far, nothing is rocket science.
And Craig,
yeah, I know you have so many requests, and I appreciate your open-mindedness to take that.
Now, Craig, unbeknownst to some people here, I know that you are currently doing a training on calling U-Economy prospects. I know that you're doing that right now. It's kind of a secret. I know you're working with your group. Quickly, how's it going? How do you feel? How's it going? I mean, are you getting good? Is the relationship factor? Is it an easy conversation to have? What's up?
Well, I'm pretty much doing the same thing I had done before, keeping it fairly generic, but just expanding on what the product is, because, and this might be real important to you, John, is that my experience in the past was about 10% of the conversation was about product, 90% was about income. Here, that's what's so impressive to me, is that, I don't know what the breakdown would be, but let's just say 50-50. That's pretty high to talk about product. That means you've set the bar high, you're proud of your product, and so on and so forth. So for me, that means a lot when I'm talking to someone. I've got to be proud of what I'm doing. These products, obviously I haven't seen them all, but again, you've set the bar high, so they got to be good. Impressive, extremely impressive. And I think that just comes through when talking to people about the opportunity. And but yeah, it's been working really just like it did before, Joe, but now just following up with those people and getting them tied into conference calls and webinars.
Well, that's great. And what I'm going to do is like an indentured servant. Okay, I'm going to work with you, Craig, to see, you know, we can perfect that. Okay, that languaging that you're using.
Well, I'm
make,
looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're going to make it available to all of the members around the world. So stand by for that. Thank you, Craig.
Yeah,
You're awesome. Hope you have some fun. Hope you catch some
Craig.
fish today. Hang on, I'm going to lower you back into the attendee pool. Next up is going to be Doug Sharp. Doug, I trust you have a shirt on. Come on out here, Doug Sharp. Watch how cool this is. This is like magic. Ta-da! There he is. Hey, Doug. How's it going?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, John. Hi, Joe.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be seen. Yeah,
There you are.
awesome. Yeah, really good. This is a good forum. Thank you very much.
You bet.
The number one thing that comes to my mind is information flow. In a couple different businesses in the past, some from our direct sales home-based industry, others conventional, where we were processing, if you will, a lot of people through a sales funnel. We developed a flow, so to speak, where for outside sales reps, they would do a lot of work on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a weekend, because that's when they could get a hold of people. And they would set up, and through that conversation, if it progressed past that point, then they would set up or invite people to attend a live presentation, say on a Tuesday night, for example. And then if that went well, on the follow-up call immediately thereafter, either later on that evening or the next day, then they would use the rest of the week to reconnect them to, in our case, it would be a U-Radio Live or the Thursday U-Zoom. And then that would leave the following Thursday, Friday, Saturday to do the final follow-up with them. The whole point being to get that all within a 7-day window, so that that information stays fresh in their mind. Now, the best window obviously is 72 hours because it's the freshest, but absolutely it can't be any longer than 7 days. Otherwise, they just get distracted by too many other things. The information fades, and that time that we've invested in them, its value decreases. And so in my mind, it's about information flow and how best to do that. So I have a couple thoughts on that. If we were to have, say, one U-Zoom session per week, one is really all that we need, a live session where nothing happens during that session other than simply a well-formatted PowerPoint presentation that's live. Probably earlier in the week, I'm going to suggest Tuesday for the flow reasons. But in addition to that, we have a recorded version that any one of us can send to a prospect where they can watch that in their own time. Because what I've found in the past, Kelly and I were involved in a network marketing business here recently, where that's what ended up transpiring the most was where people were able to, could only really watch the presentation, the recorded version, because they're just so busy. So if we have that as a backup tool where we have one live event, one live presentation that they can attend, and a recorded one that we keep current, as things change. Like, so for example, right now, all of our presentations should be focused on the fact that we are in pre-launch and the value of that it presents itself for new candidates. Like this is we're getting to line up. We get the early seats for the rocket ship that's going to take off September 18th, right? So if they don't know that, and I don't think overall we're doing a really good job of promoting that fact, that people should be involved now. Now's the time, even though, yeah, we're still getting our technology together and our processes and things like that. Hey, it's just to get used to all that, to get set up, get a foundation started. That's huge. So that was what I wanted to contribute.
So, hey, Doug, what are you doing in my brain? What are you doing inside? No wonder I've been feeling so congested, okay? Because that's exactly the discussions that are taking place. And I thank you for coming to the table, because clearly you know what you're doing. You're talking about the sales cycle, okay? We want to get people to make a decision quickly. We want to get the decision, like you said, 72 hours would be perfect, but within a week's time. I think it's a great idea. That is on the drawing board. And I would like to invite you because you're so well spoken. I would like to invite you to participate in that Zoom hangout that we're going to do. And that Zoom will have to be updated along the way, right? We'll do one for pre-launch. We'll do a special Zoom for after launch. We'll do a Zoom, for example, for this thing coming up for members only, for example, talk to people about what's happening with the network marketing way to wealth. Today we found out 1,000 free leads. I mean, all of these little packaged, all these ideas, I agree with you. They should be packaged, but you don't want to overwhelm people, right? You don't want to give them so much stuff that they can't make a decision. U Economy TV. Look at that, Mark Golden. Better secure that one. I don't know. U Economy TV. Anybody who's available on, well, shh. I'll get on GoDaddy right away. U Economy TV. That's awesome, Doug. Thank you very much. I'll be in touch with you.
Doug, one of the things, Doug, that obviously all of us that have been around for a little while, is that in this particular industry, not necessarily in all industries, let me just say that let me start over. Every purchase is an emotional purchase. Every single purchase we make in life, not necessarily a pencil, but maybe a pack of pencils to do your homework, might be more important. But I'm saying that any major purchase is an emotional decision. Everybody can get me, So when the emotions are strong and I say their heart and their soul are ignited, is the time to give them the information. Anything that's given to them after they lose that connection, their connection, because their connection, and Craig as a trainer would know this, their connection is theirs. It may be very similar, like they want to make money so that they can pay for their children's future education. Well, the money part's probably similar, but what's their emotional draw to that money is different. Mm-hmm. So if we don't get with people to understand that, and that's where the individual conversations occur, we can't do away. In my opinion, I mean, I'm a believer in having connection with people at some level. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be me. It can be whoever's doing it. It has to be connection to their heart and their soul. What's on their mind, and that has to happen within 72 hours. See, I believe that people make the decision to join us in 72 hours. It may take a little more time to work on getting the money together, but they've already made their decision, and we need to keep them warm with new ideas and have them come to the Compound Effect meeting. Once they're so-called made their decision, get them into that meeting, have them come to other meetings like this. We'll allow them, even though they're not members yet, you'll give them a special draw into the future faculty conversations. I mean, just we'll have a way to teach everybody to keep people in that process. But people make decisions, everybody, for sure, within 72 hours of hearing that information. We just know we got to get to the right people, and different people are right week after week even. I mean, it's like, I lost my job last week. Perfect timing. I just prayed about you guys calling me, and there you are. Whatever it is, that's what happens. And so I'm on it with you, Doug. That's why I've said to you, everybody, about Thursday nights. I mean, they seem to be getting away from me each week, and Joe and I laugh about this, but that is meant to be where the live call occurs, where Peter and I are always there. It's meant to be where you start marketing on a Monday, and everybody on this call should know you don't really want to market new leads on Fridays and Saturdays. Don't do that. That is not smart. You're gonna, depending on the kind of marketing you do, I'm talking about when you're bringing people through a process of an academy purchase. Nobody wants to look at anything above going to the grocery store on their weekends, typically in this industry. But if you start your leads flowing on Monday, and you have a bunch of people on Monday, Tuesday, wow, that's a good week already. You bring them towards an event. Now we're going to have evergreen webinars. So Doug, that'll solve some of your question, because 24/7, anywhere Ingo speaking can happen in this world, they'll be able to watch a fresh webinar that we do, instead of a tired old John going, oh yeah, it's so great, I love that you guys are here. We're going to have fresh evergreen webinars, and Joe is helping me with that too. So and we may need some more of your help out there. So he knows your skills in a lot of cases, and he'll come out, and because we the people can make this grow faster by together. And that's partly, I'll just be honest with you. I mean, why did our country get off to a good start in 1776? Because everybody was pretty involved. Our country's too big now, but this little country called the U economy, we can stay together and we can help each other. So please prepare to, to help us, like Joe just said. So I wanted you to know some of the background behind how important it is to do it within 72 hours. And so I'll be sure to have my eye on that. It's not all put together yet. Typically, it's a 5-step process, in my opinion, for most things to happen. You find the person, you contact them in some way, then you have them go to watch something, a video. Then they meet the person who is going to talk to them, the senior person, whether it's your team member or one of our coaches. Step 4. Step 5 is when they're maybe needing some more information. That's what you're talking about with your idea, is like they need to see some more. Like a lot of people will come to the Compound Effect meeting and go, "You're kidding me. You guys help people keep themselves on track." They like to hear that. They don't want their team members to go willy-nilly off this way because they're what's between their ears. Those kind of things, you'll decide the person. You might give them all. You might say, "Go to Compound. I'm going to give you a pass to come to this Friday's event." And we're going to get more on a pattern here where, like, today is not really a faculty presentation, but I decided that this is what was necessary. And so I did it. I just said, well, we're pushing off the other things that we were planning and doing this. So we're in pre-launch. But pretty soon, even within pre-launch, we're going to get into production mode. Like about 2 weeks from now, I see us in production mode, where we can rely on Thursday nights being a business presentation. That's it. Live, so we can take questions. The Evergreen will take over from there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Doug, I'm hearing you, and I want you to know that it's on our minds.
No, it's awesome, John. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you for having that conversation, because while you were talking, I just secured ueconomytv.com. We own
Nice.
that now. Somebody grabbed UTV Live. It might be Peter. He may have already grabbed it, but I'll pull up a couple others for UTV. We might as well own all of those. Thank you very much, Doug. Your contributions are absolutely awesome. Respect all the talent that you have and the experience. I'm going to gently lower you back down into the attendee pool, and let's bring Kelly out. Kelly, come on up. Here she is. Kelly. Ta-da! She has a hat. I love it.
Stampede. It is Stampede in Calgary, right? And
I love it.
This is not my first rodeo. This is awesome. Thanks, guys, for putting this together. I think we need, hi, John. Yeah, look at this.
Oh, my God.
I know. Well, you got this hat thing going on, right? So
I know.
Let's do the cowboy hat. And
I gotta find more hats. Apparently, that is now. Is that an ensemble with the color of your dress as well, or not?
well, I know, right? I just felt just in the pink today, right?
Woo!
Yeah. Love. Things that resonate with me are things that are, together in people's thoughts. And I love when Doug just spoke. Joe's like, "You're in our brain over here." I'm going, we are on the same page after all. We really, really are. And I love that we can mastermind and come together in a forum like this. So
Absolutely, Kelly. And you were actually you saw that same energy in New York.
Oh, huge.
And so did Doug, and Mark was there too. So that's who we are, and there'll be a point where we can't be so wide open all the time, but we are that in that nature. I mean, we'll have to keep rolling along and producing new results, but right now we're open.
Yeah, and we need to be, right? We need to be authentic, real, accessible, where people can know who we are, what we do, and what we represent. Like I said, this is not my first rodeo, and I am really excited about the technologies that we get to use, and the fact that you guys know what you're doing with these technologies. When you got a guy like Victor in the background, doing what he does, and everybody comes here with their talents and traits. And I love that we can have new people in this arena with us that have you know, years of experience in so many different ways. I did want to say, you know, I would like to see us really separating out what is for the public and what is for the members, so that we can, well, make it exclusive as it should be, that you can only come in here as a paid member in a lot of ways, because people often want what they can't have, right? And so, you know, and of course that is part of the plan, obviously, is that you pay for the information, the resale rights to the information ultimately is what the biggest value. And ultimately for me, it's the people that we get to come together and put our minds together. Means a lot. One thing I did notice in our last, you know, funnel that we had, basically.
Before we go on, so I want to make sure we don't lose that comment. Okay. What I'm hearing you say is that you'd like this to be exclusive. These meetings, these faculty meetings, for example, and the content in general, you'd like them to be exclusive to owners, people that are already paid.
Yes.
And our thought recently was a one-time visit to a meeting, like I was talking with Doug about there a minute ago. We would give a code that would allow people in once. They wouldn't have, you know, ongoing code until they're members. Why would we do that? It's the same reason that I was saying to Doug, is how do we build this so that they can see the beauty of what we do? Well, the fact that we have faculty presentations and we're just like a steady stream of good information is one of our greatest assets. So would you be okay with a one-time access for just that day? Is that all right with you?
You know, I would absolutely agree with that, because people do, you know, they sign up for something that's free to start with, you know, free something, give them some value free. And of course, they're going to want to, you know, see what else is behind the curtain after that fact. So of course, yes, there should
They'll never see the whole curtain. We won't let them back there. We don't want them to see all our hats back there, you know. But we will have, I feel like, you know, we want to be open and like we're talking about, and to some degree. So if you're okay with that and everybody else is, that'd be great. But to go on with your next thought, please.
Well, and the other thought was, if there's a way that we can personalize our funnel. For example, you know, when people see that first, and maybe it's already in the works, you know, when people are seeing that first minute, 2-minute video, that it could be us if we so choose, because video is so powerful, and especially in this day of technology when people need to know us, like us, trust us, and know us personally, because they're really, at the end of the day, they're joining us to mentor and train and teach. They got to know who we are.
Absolutely. No, we have a solution for the standard funnel. That, you know, that's what you get with UCrew, and that can't be something that is customized, but we do have the ability to show people in the next update release, if you will, that there is an ability for them to customize. And you should all plan on that. You know, you want your own 2-minute video. You don't want it to be too long, but they have to know who you are. You're going to be the team leader, and you want to leverage and say, you know, I get support from John and everybody else you're going to hear in a little bit, but I will be there for you every single day to help you, whatever you say, right? And I think it's really important. Also, since we are going to be very good at videos in our world because of our marketplace offer, I want everybody to be, you know, learning how to do videos better and better and better. And so video work of any sort is happy to me, so that they can get better, right? But they're going to need one good one up front. I agree.
Yeah, and just one other point that I would love to see, and I know this is a lot to ask, but things like notifications where we know, you know, what videos they watched, how much of the video they watched, you know, the survey idea coming back, just so that we can start to engage communication, so that, you know, because ultimately I am a phone person. I want to get somebody on the phone and have a conversation. That's where the emotion comes out, right? It's hard to get that in a text message or an email.
Yeah.
So that's where I would love to see as much of that as possible.
More information, and I'm not sure how much of that's going to be in our back office versus your GetResponse, Aweber, or whatever. But between the two of them, you'll get everything you want, I believe. So we'll make sure that that's clear, how to get that, how to, you know, where you get it from, and we'll do everything we can generically. So I agree with you. You know, we right now with the lead capture page, we just know when somebody went in. We have no idea if they watched the whole video. So I understand what you're saying there. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for bringing me.
Kelly, you're looking awesome, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I'm looking in the chat room like people are like, "Woo, what's going on?"
Oh, I know, it's just.
You're rocking that hat. Here's something I want. Hang on. I'm gonna gently lower you back down into the attendee thing there. I want to say this, Kelly. You know, I know what you're talking about: bridge videos and sandwich videos and all this other notification stuff. And what I'm thinking after spending an hour last night visiting with Victor, I'm thinking some of those things, those are so 2016. That is so January of this last year. You know, when Victor was talking about this concept of an avatar, and see, I've always thought that Facebook was really like the Antichrist. You know, Facebook is like, seriously, I want the whole world to know about me and everything I do and what my kids look like and forget about it. You know, I've actually been resisting Facebook since it first came out, but it's kind of winning me over now. And remember Victor last night talking about the power of this avatar and building your Facebook, building your fan page. I'm like, a fan page? I don't even want a page. But when you really think about what he's talking about, it kind of is a solution to all of these other things. It's really personalizing the experience. If I can really, you know, just regurgitate what I think I learned last night from Victor. It's a whole new age. But I agree with you. I love the idea of a sandwich video where somebody will opt in, or before they go to the next page, it will be you, so they know who they're going to be getting a call back from.
Part of that is the branding elements. Everybody, some of you know about those things, but those are branding elements. See, the video has to play to your brand also. Like if you want to be a country, you know, Calgary lady, you've got to talk about, hey, come up and do a stampede with me, and I'm going to have a huge party up here, and make it about your brand. That's your brand. And so these are more advanced features, I will say. Not everybody needs them, Kelly, but it would be really nice. But they are advanced, and I think I'd like to see everybody opt in to do them, and we're going to offer help on how to do that. There's going to be a standard level, and then we're going to have many more things that we're going to do that are going to be offered for custom reasons. So
we're talking about leveling up there.
Leveling up our own features, yeah.
Dr. B is in the house.
Oh.
Hey, John. Hey, Joe.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to be seen. Good to be seen.
Yeah.
A lot of information. I had one question concerning the coaches. Now, after I've had a candidate go through my funnel page, are the coaches notified immediately, or what's the delay on that?
No delay. It's either yes or no in the back office. If you are covering your leads, then you leave it unchecked. If you're having us and the UCoach program cover them, then they're 100%. No matter what size they are, they're coming our way. We don't want to have some way to toggle between like half of them. How would we even know which ones are going where? We've got to be able to have the ability to have accountability to you.
Yes.
That these are being covered, and we can't do it without 100% leads in our court.
Okay, good. All right. Thanks, John.
That's coming soon. Part of this back office process, me complaining a little bit internally, and just making sure things are right in this pre-launch situation, was that I could not launch the UCoach until I was 100% sure that those leads were going in the right place. I don't want a chaos on the first day that we launch UCoach. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm feeling like an astronaut.
Okay.
Pre-launch, I'm getting everything ready. I know a lot of things are happening in the control room, and I'm excited. I see the changes every day on the site, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So I can't wait for the ship to start rocking and taking on off.
Well, you all have a real benefit by being in the control room, ready to go up until the module to go up into space. You have, like somebody said earlier, I forget who it was. It's a real opportunity. You know how to ride a bike, and you've done it for 3 weeks as a 5-year-old. And when your friends come over, you go, "I got this." I want to go, and now we're going to go and play. We're going to do this instead of you being in day one. Mm-hmm. Then you have to learn to ride that bike, and you're not as comfortable with your friends, and it's not as cool. Maybe you're falling off a little bit. All of you will have plenty of bike time, and so when we are ready to go here in every way, you'll be ready, and you'll start to be able to bring in people early that no one will ever have a chance to see because you brought them in before they had a chance. So you're in a good spot.
Great.
I think you all know that. I
Yeah.
just want to reiterate that. But anyway, thank you for coming out, buddy.
Hey, thank you, John.
Thank you, Dr. B.
I want to meet your wife sometime too, by the way. Next time you come out, she's got to be in the picture with you, okay?
See you, Dr. B. All right, let's keep it moving here. We're already 47 minutes in. Karen Kruger, Newbie Nana's coming up right now, and I want to say hello to Peter Wolfing. Peter Wolfing is he's just in view only mode today. At the end of the call, I'll let you know what Peter Wolfing's up to, or maybe he'll come out and tell you. There she is, Karen Kruger. How are you? How are you?
Oh, discombobulated. I'll tell you. My question's probably a little weird. I'm just jumping in towards the end here, and I wanted to share. Well, my question is going to be asking for extra help because of my reason. I just experienced kind of a week from hell personally, where I had to jump out of my rhythm, and that's why I introduced myself as newbie. Hi, I'm Newbie Nana Florence Nightingale, because as a caregiver, sometimes you have to drop everything and go for the needs of the situation. We are just leaving a hospital and heading to a brain surgeon's office, and I mean, things are wonderfully active, and I find 2 hours away from Facebook and I'm lost. So this week I'm really getting lost, and fortunately and unfortunately, Dale Ann and I probably have the two busiest sponsors. And we brought in somebody who's bringing in two. I do not want to lose my position of leadership and mentor to my people. Could we set up a plan B, a tiny committee, or maybe somebody can call me later? What can one do when these situations creep up where you do have to pull back? I mean, even if it's a day or two during pre-launch, you're missing things. And I don't want to make mistakes when I send out emails and do videos and things. So sometimes I'm going to need some guidance myself. And of course, Tammy and Susan are making their 30 to 40 phone calls or whatever a day. What do we do as leaders? Where do we go? What's the plan B when we need to get caught up or we need some help?
Okay, nice to meet you, by the way, Karen.
Hi.
And it's great to meet you. Well, life does happen, and one of the great things about this business and this business industry of home-based and direct sales and MLM, as we all know, is that we do have the ability to flex and move and do a campaign this week, take the week off next week, do what we want to do, and it's a beautiful thing. That's one of the great things about what we do. And my answer to you is your sponsors has to be your place to go. I don't see that changing. Your sponsors are your source of information. If they're not around that week, then they're sponsors. And if it gets all the way to me, then I'm your person. But we want to start with the person who's looking out for you. You're going to be able to go to the Facebook group and get caught up. That's the first place I would go if I were you, and just find out, well, where was I last in here, and pick myself up. And you're in our group, right, Karen? You're in the.
Oh yeah.
So make sure that you do that first, and then after that, you'll look in your email, because we're going to have a steady flow of email coming through for announcements, and then after that, then go to your sponsor and say, I see all these things that are in the Facebook group. I see all these things that came in email, but what else did I miss? And ask them. And you've got two that you can ask in your case. So I think that's the only way to go. We the people are built on leadership up and down. We're not, that's just the best way to go. They know how to support you specifically on something that maybe you need. The other thing that I want to say during this is that if you're needing to do caregiving for a whole week, then click on the U Coach for that week. So that if you have business opportunities happening, then let that you can click it off for the following week. It's only during the time you have it clicked in the back office that we are going to take it. So that's one big thing that'll help you to relax, because you don't want to stop your business development, do you? You want to keep that going.
No.
So this will be in a way for you to go, I got it covered. And
That's a great
between,
idea.
yeah, between that and the sponsors, I think you're in good shape. And I am your sponsor too. I mean, I'm just up a little ways, and if no one else is available, then you call me.
Oh, that's invitation.
Don't do it all the time, Joe.
No. I would never do that.
No, I mean, but Joe, you know, and you can come to the next radio show. You can do a lot of things. We're going to have a lot of ways for people to plug in, but I wish you well on what you're working on with the brain surgery information, and thanks for coming out today.
Karen,
Okay.
thank you very much. That's Newbie Nana. And, you know, one of the things I want to say related to what Newbie Nana just asked the question, you know, the system is designed. It is specifically designed so that if your sponsor was, I don't know, aliens took them off of Earth, the system is designed so that you'd never miss a beat. You know, we've got all of these tools going on. You know, this radio show that we do every single day, and Karen, you're on there a lot of times. That's a great place to send your brand new people. Send them there. You know where to find me as well, Karen. I know that you're in my group. If you want to, oh, here he is. Hold on, I'm elevating a guy right now out of a jacuzzi. Let's see how this works. Karen, we'll talk later, okay? Thank you very much. Here's a guy that was watching us from a jacuzzi. We'll see you. Peter, I hope you have your shirt on. There he is.
I can't hear you too well, Joe, but you made me get out of the jacuzzi. I didn't think it was very appropriate. Joe goes, hey, you want me to come out? And I'm like, I don't think it's appropriate. I'm in a jacuzzi right now. Oh, that's funny. So I had to get out and get a shirt on. So what a background, huh? Look at that.
Beautiful.
Wow.
The Atlantic
Wow,
Ocean.
awesome. Yeah, that's the Atlantic Ocean. Back there, you can probably see the East Coast as we're going up the East Coast. Yeah, I'm listening to this, and I'm just fascinated by the quality of people, Doug, and the different people that came on, Kelly and Karen, I love you, and just the different quality of information that's coming out of here, because this is what we do here. It's the you and you crew, right? The you and you crew is that we're all part of a whole. We're all part of a team that's going to input and make the collective that much better. So if you're willing to be that type of person that's not me and everything's mine, if you want to share and you want to be able to be better, then that's exactly what we're doing here, and you're part of the team, and I think you fit right in. And you know, so we had a great radio show today right in here with John's taking over, done a fantastic job over here, and just so proud to have all the people here from the faculty, John, Doug, everybody, Joe, of course, and everybody else that's on here to be part of this team. And it just inspires me to work that much harder. So I know it doesn't seem like I'm working over here, but we're going since 6 o'clock in the morning, so I had to take a break. They just shoved this next to me. I have no idea what this is. So, just cold, that's about it. And so just over here working, I got my laptop. I already wore out my battery on my laptop. And talking to people in India and talking to different people. So I do this because it's my passion, and I mix all of this together to be able to have a really potent cocktail of opportunity for people. And with the people that we have here and the members and so on, we have really the sky's the limit. I just got a notification today that we got approved for the payment plan system. So that's going to be introduced. We're going to probably call that U Financial, and we'll announce exactly what that is, how it works, how it's implemented, who should do it, who shouldn't do it. We'll have a great webinar based on that to kind of teach and train everybody the best practices of using that, and when's the right situation, when's not the right situation, and kind of give you all the bullet points of that. So imagine being able to now offer U Economy to people that just can't seem to find their way in. And we'll go over all of this in detail and what's appropriate and so on, and hows and whys and best practices on that. So things. I'm almost covering up the camera here. So let me turn it back over to Joe and John. I didn't really have too much else to say, but I just wanted to chime in and say you guys are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you very much, Peter. I got to tell you, obviously you have a glass partition behind you, because I could see reflections. There was a very large man with no shirt there's a woman in a one-piece bathing. That's pretty cool, man. We're able to share your experience with you.
You'd be surprised at who's wearing thongs over here. Some things it's like, I can't get it out of my head.
Burned in there for.
That's funny.
Thank you very much, Peter. Have fun on the rest of your cruise. I know you're going to be coming back home soon. Back on.
We
do have.
You know,
Craig has got his hand in the air again. Craig is looking to get a second bite at the apple here.
Before
Come on
we
up,
go
Craig.
there, I mean,
Yeah, we've got
I
We
just
only
want
got a
to
couple
say
minutes.
that, the culture is set by the leadership, and one of the things that I love so much about working with Peter is that we're both open men. We want to know. We're not like trying to hold things close to the vest. He's a good, integrous man, and I enjoy being around him, and that's why I think we're going to flow. We're just going to keep going up and up and up. It becomes about that after a while. Product is going to be always good enough. And it becomes, and the business development is no big deal. We can figure that out. But at the end of the day, the difference maker is the people, isn't it?
Mhm.
So anyway, Craig, what do you got on your mind, buddy?
I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared with the questions, and I appreciate the second shot here. I want to share a story with you. When Jason Cox and I first talked about the previous opportunity, I went to his website and I watched about 15, 20 minutes of it. And it was about a 45-minute to an hour ordeal, if you want to call it that. And so then I went back in and finished watching it because we had a little revisit field at the bottom of the website. And so within a week, I went back in and out of that website probably about 15 to 20 times. So Jason knew that I was interested because he kept getting the emails. Every time that I went back in, he kept getting the emails, right?
Yeah.
So he knew he had someone there that was seriously interested. So my question, or if you want to call it a recommendation, is I really believe we need a revisit field at the bottom. Right now, if someone wants to get back in to watch the video or anything else that'll be back there in the future, they have to put a different email address in. They can't even put their own email address in. They have to refill out the whole thing. So if they had
and you're right. Right now, the way it works is that if you put in your other email, like I think you said this, but you put in the one you put in first, it doesn't allow you back in. You can't go back through that. You could go to a different link. You can go to the affiliate link, not the lead capture link. But they wouldn't know that. The only link they got from you was the lead capture page. So I hear you, and I understand what you're talking about. I personally had some aggravation on that.
Yeah, and it was just a little field at the bottom that said, "Are you revisiting?" or something like that, and then a field. They would just, email address. They just put their email in, and they're back in. Because I have to admit to you, the previous opportunity, I went through that whole thing, which is about 45 minutes to an hour, at least 5 times. Because I know that if you watch something over and over again, it's going to make more sense to you, right? You're going to understand it. And I was looking. So for those people that are like me, not everyone is, but for those people, I think that would be a benefit for those prospective members because it gets you more excited. I mean, the more I went in and watched, the more excited, the more enthused I got, the more I was ready to get going.
Right, and also there's going to be other videos that'll be alongside shortly. We're going to have side videos too, so it's going to become a panel of videos. And who can go and watch them all at once?
Right.
And like to Doug's point, we want to make sure people have the chance when they're excited and within a three-day period to just go as much as they want to. So we'll fix that.
Just wanted to throw that in. Thanks, John.
Yeah, anytime. Throw things in. I love it.
You're awesome, Craig. Thanks for coming up here again today. John, we've been here for an hour. I know you've got a lot of stuff on your plate. It looks as though we're an hour in today. And,
my daughter, who's 11, and I are going to go have breakfast together and take the new dog. We're going to sit outside. So yes, I have something very important. But I think if everybody's okay here, then I'll be back at my desk soon. And and Joe, let's you and I look at these notes together within 24 hours, and I'm available tomorrow morning as well. So we can make sure that we bring these together. And I hear all the things you might have heard too, Joe, that you might have heard from your past experience that I wasn't hearing because you know these people better. Maybe
right, and I have 3 pages of notes. I'll put together like a white paper with just some brief bullet points so that we can go over those and pass them on and make a decision. I want to thank everybody for coming here today. I'm going to suspend this recording. I'm going to stop the recording. We'll see you guys very soon. Remember, every single weekday morning at 12 noon Eastern, U Radio Live is where we're going to be. So we'll see you then.